Hi, this is Mike Casasanta,
This is Curtis Elwell.
and this is CNN with our segment, The Year in Retrospect. 1989 has been quite an eventful year with major developments from pop culture to politics. And on January 11th, Reagan delivered his farewell address to the nation, ending his two-term presidency while suffering from a moderate bout with Alzheimer's. On January 20th, George Bush was sworn in as president after being Reagan's vice president for 2 terms.
Many rejoiced on January 24th as Ted Bundy was executed by electric chair and ending his 10 years in death row. Now that's what I call a shocking conclusion.
On February 2nd, the Soviet Union's last armored column left Kabul, Afghanistan, and then on January 15th, it was announced that all of the Soviet troops had withdrawn from Afghanistan in total.
On March 14th, George Bush put forth new gun control laws banning importation of assault rifles in the United States.
In a tragic turn of events in Alaska, the oil tanker the Exxon Valdez spilt an estimated 257,000 to 750,000 gallons of oil in the Prince William Sounds after beaching, making it quite a bad oil spill.
With the 61st Academy Awards, Rain Man won Best Picture. Here are some Best Pictures of the past year.
Wow, aren't those some great flicks? Speaking of award-winning, that song you've been hearing is the #1 song of 1989, Chicago, with Look Away.
Here's another 1989 hit with Bobby Brown's My Prerogative.
Then on June 4th, tragedy struck. After many weeks of protest for more democracy and voting rights, the Chinese government invaded Tiananmen Square and massacred nearly 6,000 students. This is also where the infamous Tank Man made his first appearance.
A tragedy it was. On June 6th, the infamous Ayatollah Khomeini had his first funeral aborted due to riot-attending attendees. Ayatollah's casket was ripped open by funeral goers in order to obtain one last look at their great leader.
On July 19th, United Airlines Flight 232 crashed into Scio, Iowa, killing 112 of its passengers. Fortunately, 184 survived.
It's Sega versus Nintendo. It's neck to neck, head to head. On August 14th, Sega released their 16-bit gaming console, the Sega Genesis. It had to compete with the Nintendo Entertainment System and had a large ad campaign campaigning Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
When we get back, a Myrtle scandal will be thoroughly investigated right here on CNN. Stick around.
Genesis does.
16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
16-bit sports action.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis does.
Get Joe Montana free, Pat Riley free, Buster Douglas free, Super Monaco GP free, or Collins free.
Genesis does.
What Nintendo don't.
Alright, we're back with CNN's Year in Retrospect, where we discuss the major events of '89. Coming up now, the Menendez family parents were murdered this year in their Beverly Hills home in California. Curtis is here with further input.
Thanks, Mike. At first, the murder seemed to be a closed case. No suspects in custody, but with further investigation, Lyle and Eric Mendez were convicted of this parricide and now are on trial. Such a horrendous crime.
That it was. On September 5th, George H.W. Bush held his first televised speech at the White House, and quite an interesting speech it was, featuring the president himself holding up a bag of cocaine that he had purchased across the street.
On September 17th, Hurricane Hugo struck the southern United States, and it ran rampant for 5 days, causing 71 deaths and $8 billion in damages.
After accidentally broadcasting the new travel laws regarding East and West Germany, on November 9th, people began traveling freely through the Berlin Wall checkpoints into each side. Families were reunited and people were feeling good. And then November 17th celebrates the actual tearing down of the Berlin Wall itself. Quite a momentous occasion. And right as that was happening, George Bush and Mikhail Gorbachev meet off the coast of Malta to discuss the end of the Cold War. Now, after this segment, I think it's easy to say that this year has been quite a momentous one, with Berlin Wall, Tiananmen Square, Cold War ending after nearly 6 decades of ravaging both of our countries. '89 has truly been a year to look back on.